This video helps answer the question, when a specific opportunity reaches a threshold stage, how can you ensure that you have a primary contact identified? And this is using the Nonprofit Success Pack, lots of different opportunity record types. We've got grants, donations, gifts, kind of lots of, we can also add sponsorships and memberships and any number of other ways that we're going to be generating revenue. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go in and look at one of these. Let's go into this grant and let's see what it has. If we change the stage of this one, what we're going to be able to do then is to modify the percentage, and then it's going to ask us whether or not we have a primary contact, right? We don't right now, so let's go out and let's take a look. So if we want to add that functionality, we're going to go out and edit the object, and we're going to go here, and we're going to go and notice we're in setup for the object manager, not in home with the settings around flow and any of those kind of process builder things. So we're going to go in down here. This is the very bottom of the list to validation rules. And what we're going to do is we're going to go, let's look specifically at the current active version. And what you can see is how the error messages are really, really valuable, because that really tells you what condition we're checking for. And so we're going to go out here. We're going to see this is our rule. And we're saying when probability is greater than 25%, when the primary contact is blank, and either of these two conditions, right? Record type equals grant, or record type equals major gift. We're going to say that we want to make sure that they have a primary contact, so the primary contact can't be blank is basically what that means. And so if we go out and look at it and give it a test, if we're here and we say, great, rather than prospecting, we're going to take it up to an application submitted, which is a 30% above our threshold, primary contact, and was a grant test. So we're going to say save. It's going to say you can't do that. So you can click here. It's going to take you directly to the field. And I'm going to say, let's go after, and I'm going to just click and say, let's put Diane Dark in as our primary. We're going to say save here. And what that's going to do is accept it. So it did, survive the validation. If we look at a major gift the same way, here, if we change a major gift to a proposal, 60%, we've got no primary contact. We click save and it says you got to add one. If we look at one more out here at the in-kind test, in-kind is basically donating furniture, rugs, whatever, computers, and we change it from cultivating to in-kind not yet received, but at 50%, and we save that. It works. So we know that validation rule is working out just fine. So if we can go back out here and we go down and take a look at this, an early version, just to show you what it's going to look like. This is a first stage, and we've got a single condition that we're looking for, which is the primary contact blank. And if we go click edit here, we're now able to dive in on this and see that we have a rule, we have a description that we've put in. Here's the meat of it, right? We're able to insert fields, operators, and insert selected functions. And if we look at the logical functions, that's where we get the is blank. Checking syntax is always important. And then what you'll see too is notice that this was how we pulled the probability, right? It shows that it's a 0.3, which is why we were able to do that. The error message, again, was important because that tells you what to do, and this tells you whether it's top of page or field. And then if we go back and we actually try and test this thing, what you're going to find is that that seems to work. There are a couple of things that we need to think about from an NPSP side. So if we actually go out here to the app launcher, do NPSP settings, and I've got that up, and we go into contact roles, there's a whole lot that we can do here in terms of default contact roles. The other thing I would look at here is that we've got a connection. Judy Sohn wrote a great article that talks about how to create the process builder and flows to be able to automatically connect contact roles, because what happens today is if I go in here and I've got Diane Dark here and I go and look at her roles out here and I add a new role and I add in David Dupe and I say next, and let's just for now I'm going to save that. What I've got is a second role, but if I go back to details and I change the primary contact here and make it, I don't want Diane there, what I want is actually Doug Dark. I click save, and what happens then is if I go to related, it disappears and now it's Doug. So you want to be real careful in terms of sequencing. The next one we're going to talk about then is when you get to closed lost, how can you make sure you track on a reason? Thanks.